Okay, so first of all, today we're going to finish discussing this book. And this book it has been very powerful and very eye-opening. And your end of year project is going to consist of choosing one of the three books that we read this year. So this year we read Woman at Point Zero, something about the Kite Runner, and Brave New World. So you're going to choose one of those three books, and you're going to prepare a very short 30-second video about the one that you like best. So what you're going to say in your video is, for example, this book is called Woman at Point Zero, written by Nawal El-Sawati. And what I like about this book is blah, blah, blah. And I think you should read this book because blah, blah, blah. 30 seconds. Okay? It needs to be a video. And don't go overboard, like music, lights. No. Just simple, as if you're trying to convince a friend to read the book. Okay? There are a lot of pictures of these books on the internet. You can find them everywhere. So don't just sit there empty-handed. Show me a picture of the book or something about the book. So you can just print a picture or show it on your screen or whatever you want to do. So it's simple. It's a 30-second video. This is going to show up as module 6. It's going to show up as module 6. A simple 30-second video in which you're going to choose one of the three books that we read this year. And this year we read The Kite Runner, Brave New World, and Woman at Point Zero. Choose the one that you like the most, and in your video, 30 seconds, you're going to say, this is the book, say the title of the book, who wrote the book, tell me the reason why you like this book, and why you think somebody else should read it. 30 seconds, okay? All of the details are going to show up in Module 6. And please remember that Module 6 is only 1 week long, so you should probably start working on this. It's only 30 seconds, but start working on it, like at least thinking what you want to say, which of the three books you're going to choose. Okay. So in this class, we're finishing Woman at Point Zero. And if you go to YouTube, if any one of you got lost and never really understood the fullness of the book, there are like 100 different persons giving their review of the book Woman at Point Zero, and there are also like 10 different interviews with the psychiatrist who wrote it. So if you're really interested in this topic, that's something that you can do on your own free time. Now, there's something very, very important that we have to clarify in this class. Okay? Whenever we talk about the patriarchy, we are not talking about men. Okay, so when you hate the patriarchy, you're not hating men. It's like two completely different. Anjoli Rivera, you're not in my class? I don't think so. Okay, so you're two completely different things. Okay, the patriarchy does not represent men. The patriarchy is one thing, men a completely different thing. And you have to have that clear. So there are a lot of men who hate the patriarchy, and understandably so. And there are a lot of women who think that when you hate the patriarchy, you automatically hate men. No, that's not the case. I want you to right now Google patriarchy, and one of you tell me the definition that you see. So Google patriarchy and tell me the definition. Okay, who has it? How does it define patriarchy? Nobody has it? Come on, people, Google.
It says Patriarchy is a social system in which men hold primary power and predominate in roles of political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, and control of property.
Okay, good. Now, the thing that's important for you to remember based on that definition is that there are a lot of women who support and belong to the patriarchy. A lot of women. Okay? And I want you to think about examples of what women who support and actually promote the patriarchy. Now, notice what Mary read. The patriarchy is a belief system that puts men in a favorable position in politics, in religion, in education, in basically everything, and gives them like an advantage over women. So that's one of the reasons why most countries have male presidents. Most religious organizations have male pastors or male leaders. Most educational systems have a lot of men involved in it. And it goes like this in different situations. And also, in a lot of companies, men make a lot more money than women. So two people, man and a woman, are doing the exact same job, and for some reason, the man makes more money than the woman. Even though more women are graduating from university and having more degrees and more preparation than men. So that is what there's a mentality that has been created by the patriarchy. Now think for a moment. Is it possible that some women belong to the patriarchy, believe in the patriarchy, and support the patriarchy? Think about it and give me an example. It's not that hard, people. Just think, look around, think about culture. Okay, I'm going to give you one example. Okay? Oh, this one is really simple. Have you ever heard, particularly the older women, right, like abuelitas, who are constantly telling girls that you have to learn how to cook and you have to learn how to clean, but they never tell that to the boys? Have you heard that or seen that? That's patriarchy. Because of the belief that the woman is supposed to be in the kitchen, cleaning and cooking and having babies, and the man is supposed to go out and work. And then when the man comes home, the food has to be there because he was working and you were just home cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids. That's patriarchy. That's what we call also machismo. And a lot of women, particularly in rural areas, maintain this belief. Can you give me another example? Really, people? No examples? Okay. Think about the entire mentality of what people say girls are supposed to do and what boys are supposed to do. And who are the people who are usually saying these things? Like, for instance, have you ever heard your mother, your grandmother, your uncle tell you, oh, women aren't supposed to dress like that? Or dress like a girl, wear a dress, put on a skirt, you're a girl? Have you ever heard that? No? Oh, you have. Especially those of you who love to wear pants. That is part of the patriarchy. So you are a woman, you need to dress like this. Another example of the patriarchy is beauty pageants. Beauty pageants. Now there are a lot of beauty pageants for men also, but before, beauty pageants were only for women. Why? What were they trying to tell women? with having them compete to see who's prettier or who has the best boobs? What was the message they were sending to women? Talk to me, people.
And maybe one of their role is to maintain themselves pretty.
Okay. Now that's super interesting, Mary Foster. I didn't think anyone was going to mention that, but I'm happy you did. This also explains the obsession that society has with looking young. Why do you think, let's see how deep you can go. Why do you think it's so important for society to look young? Put this on, do this, just like this, cut your hair like this so you can look young. Why is it so important for women, particularly, to look young? What's the obsession about? Why the obsession? Okay, remember we're talking about the patriarchy. So don't go random somewhere else. We're talking about the patriarchy and the obsession with looking young or forever young. Like that store, I actually like the store Forever 21. What's that about? I mean, you're not going to be 21 forever. But why that obsession? I want you to go deep. Oh my goodness, kids, you're asleep. Come on, people. What? Okay, let me help you. If I get a whole lot of women to be constantly obsessed with looking young and investing all their energy in looking young, what happens to the wisdom and the maturity that only comes with age? If I put that on a balance, we're so obsessed with looking young, I gotta look young, I gotta look young, I gotta Botox, I gotta do this, I gotta look young. What happens to all the experience and the maturity and the wisdom that comes with age? If I put it on a balance. This is like pulling teeth. I'm going to start calling names. I'm going to name names. If I am investing all my energy in looking young and I'm 45 years old and the only thing that's important for me is to look young, what message am I sending about the wisdom, the experience that I have acquired with age? What's the message I'm sending?
For me, I think that society will be telling women like, you don't need to worry about being smart and accomplishing things that you want or people. You just need to be a pretty face, a young pretty face. For me, it's like that.
Okay, I like where you're going. Listen, when I started teaching, I was 21 years old. Okay, so I started teaching at the age of 21. Now I'm 52. Okay, so picture this. Which version of me, the 21-year-old or the 52-year-old, which version of me had more to offer my students? The 21-year-old version or the 52-year-old version? Who had more?
52.
The 52-year-old version. Why?
Because you already have experience about life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So basically, when I was 21 years old, I was a kid. I was a kid trying to be a teacher to kids. I don't have anything to offer them. Now, what happens if at age 52, I am obsessed, like, oh, I wish I was 21 again. Oh my God, I want to be 21. Oh, why can't I be 21? What happens at 52 if that's my focus? What do I have to offer my students? Come on, people, this is not the dentist. I'm not pulling out your teeth. Talk to me. If at 52, I am only focused on trying to look forever 21, what can I offer you? Do I have anything worthy to offer you? No, I don't. Because I am not having any respect for all the experience and all the maturity and all the wisdom that I have accumulated in 31 years. So let's go back to what Mary said about being young. If I get all the women on earth to focus on only looking pretty and looking young, what am I telling them to let go of? Because I can't have both. I cannot be obsessed with looking young and acting young and buying young clothes and acting like a teenager and have the other thing. I cannot have both. I need to be willing to let go of one and hold on to the other one. So when we tell women that it's all about looking pretty, it's all about you looking young, it's all about being forever 21, what am I asking them to let go of?
Would it be life experiences?
Mm-hmm. What else?
The chance of being mature.
Mm-hmm. What else? It starts with W.
Wisdom.
Yes. Wisdom is not something that you can go and study. It's not something that somebody gives to you. It's something that only comes with time. So if I'm telling you, oh, stop the clock, let's stop the clock, let's be 21. I am not accepting, receiving, or being respectful of that thing that only comes with time. So yes, there are wrinkles and there are chaques, yes, but along with that, there comes all of this that nobody can give you at 21. And that's one of the reasons why you should never be afraid or ashamed of growing old. This thing where women are like, oh, no te digo mi edad. That's ridiculous. Why should you be ashamed of your age? It means that you have accumulated wisdom. Now, you should be ashamed if you're 40 years old acting like you're 21. That should be, yes, be ashamed of that. Okay, so the patriarchy tells women that, okay, women should compete to see who's prettier, who has the biggest boobs, who has the nicest butt. Let's just keep them superficial. Focus on nonsense because women aren't that smart anyway. And a lot of women have fallen into that trap. Now, I don't have anything against beauty pageants. Go compete. But you cannot tell women that it's all about looking young and pretty. That doesn't make sense because time brings experience. And what makes you really start enjoying life is accepting and receiving that experience. Now, I don't know if you know this, but when a man reaches the age of 40 something and he starts getting gray hair, they call them silver fox. Do you know what that means? It means that they're super attractive now. Like, whoa, a silver fox, whoa. When a woman starts getting gray hair, what do they tell her?
Old.
Píntate esas canas, right? Ay, ponte algo para las canas, mami, porque nobody tells the man that because the silver fox is like the hottest guy, right? But the woman who is the same age is like, ugh, do something. Go to the gym, do yoga, dye your hair, wear shorts, do something. You need to look young. And so that is a way in which society honors the wisdom that men have at a certain age but does not honor the wisdom the same age woman would have. That's the patriarchy. Because the person telling you, píntate las caras, ay, mija, métete al gimnasio, is a woman. She belongs to the patriarchy. So the patriarchy is not about men. It's about a mentality that both men and some women, a lot of them, have. So when we say we hate the patriarchy, we don't hate men. I love men. I think they're amazing, wonderful. I'm happy I didn't have a son, but I think men are amazing. But it's not the men that we hate. It's the system that puts men above women. What would happen if you got up one day and told your grandma, I want to work in construction. I want to be what do you call the people who plaster? I forgot the name in Spanish. Anyway. Oh my goodness, I forgot the name. Oh, I knew a girl, I actually knew a teenage girl who she was studying to be a soldadora. Okay, yeah. And when her parents and her grandparents found out, they told her she was a lesbian. They told her she was going to burn in hell. They told all kinds of things. And they even sent her to me for therapy because she wanted to be a soldadora because she loved it. That's the patriarchy. What would happen if you got up today and told your parents, I want to be a soldadora? It's called soldering in English. I want to be a plaster. I want to work with gypsum. I want to build houses. What? Be honest. Don't tell me, but be honest. What would your parents and your grandparents say? In many cases, they would say like, that's for men, right? That's the patriarchy. Okay? And that's the system that we hate, but we don't hate men because men are amazing. Okay. So somewhere at the end of chapter 2, this is what Firdaus says. I became aware of the fact that I hated men, but for long years had hidden this secret carefully. The men I hated most of all were those who tried to give me advice or told me that they wanted to rescue me from the life I was leading. I used to hate them more than the others because they thought they were better than I was and could help me change my life. They saw themselves in some kind of chivalrous role, a role they had failed to play under other circumstances. So there were men coming to Firdaus and telling her, oh, I don't want you to be a prostitute. Let me help you. But they did it from a position of superiority. Like, oh, you're no good. Let me rescue you and make you a better person. And she realized that she hated men. Okay. Does a woman have the right to use her body to make money?
It's her body, so it should be not our business.
Okay. Anybody else? Be honest. What do you think? There's no right or wrong answers. What do you think? Should a woman have the right to use her body to make money? Okay, I'm going to start naming names. Diane Otero.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Does a woman have the right to use her body to make money?
Well, as Mandisa said, I think that it's her body. She can do whatever she wants with her body, but but that shouldn't be like an option for her. Like she shouldn't go through that stuff and through that scenario because it can be traumatizing. So that's like the last resource for a woman to survive.
Okay. Genesis, what do you think?
I was thinking kind of the same like Diane, that it's her body and she can decide what to do with it, but at the same time, it's like she needs to be like aware of that all of that can bring bad experiences and can cause a trauma. How do you say that word? A trauma? Trauma. Yes, that can cause her a trauma, and that should be like the last option.
Okay. Amir, what do you think? Should a woman use her body? Does she have the right to use her body to make money?
Well, she have the last decision to do what she want to do with her own body, but I have like the same thought that Diana and Henry have. Uh, that have to be like in an extremely situation that you can do anything. You can decide anything, and you are like, I don't know. It's, for me, it's like impensable,
Unthinkable.
unthinkable. But she has the last decision.
Okay. So then why is it that generally in society we look at prostitutes as if they're less than us? Like, oh, a prostituta, oh. Or we even use the word to insult people. Of course, we use the four-letter word. We don't call them prostituta. We use a shortened version, but it's an insult. Just like vieja is an insult. Ay, vieja. And gorda is an insult. Gorda. Why do we use that four-letter word to make prostitutes look bad or feel bad or to make women feel bad about themselves? Why does that happen?
They lack of empathy, I think.
Okay, that's deep. The lack of empathy. Okay. And the constant need, society and humans have this constant need to feel better than somebody else. So whenever we insult people, we do it because we want to feel better than that person. So after that, Firdaus had a little fight with her pimp. This guy, before that, he suddenly showed up and said, okay, I'm going to be in charge of you. You need to pay me a certain amount. And he started taking a lot more of her money than what she was making. So he would take most of the money and she would only have a little bit of it left. And he mistreated her. He was horrible. And no matter what she did, she could not get rid of him because the police were on his side. And then one day, she had this fight with him. They were talking, and he lifted up his hand and he slapped her. And I like the image, the way it's painted, that he raised his hand high in the air and brought it down and slapped her. And immediately she raised her hand even higher than his had been, and she slapped him back. And he tried to take a knife out of his pocket or somewhere to hurt her, and she took the knife and she killed him. Now, that's horrible because she kept stabbing and stabbing and actually enjoying the process of stabbing him. So when she's stabbing this guy, what do you think is going through her mind? Was it only about him? What do you think, Aranza?
I think that in that moment she was thinking of all the men that hurt her in the past and all the men that she hated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Adrian, I can see you. That's amazing. Okay, so she's stabbing him, probably going back in her mind to her childhood of with her dad, her uncle, the random ugly nasty guy they married her to, the little boy who used to play with her, the guy who broke her heart, just really just stabbing. And then she walked out of that place. And if you remember, before she used to say she was constantly looking for something to help her feel good about herself. After she stabbed this guy, she walked out head high, feeling like the queen of the world because she had finally found something that made her feel good about herself. Now, this is very twisted. Why do you think stabbing this guy made her feel good about herself? What's the connection there? Okay, there were a whole bunch of people. Go ahead, Eduardo.
A sense of being powerful. You know, on a versus, somebody has to lose and somebody has to win. So in this case, she won, and that's a reason to feel good,
Mhm, mhm.
powerful.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I just
think that
Who's talking? Layali. Then
Lay-
Layali.
I think she wants to feel superior over men.
Mhm, mhm. Diane?
okay, because you said twisted, I got this idea, and a lot of men did whatever they wanted to Frida's body, and she couldn't help it. But then she finally got the how do you say this? The
Courage?
opportunity of doing whatever she wants to
Mhm,
men.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's a good one, Diane. Anybody else? So, okay, she stabs this guy. She goes walking down the street feeling like the queen, and a guy stops her. And it's obvious that he is some kind of prince, right? Because remember, we're talking about Egypt. So there are princes and people of higher caliber and whatever. And he offers her money, and she says, no, you can't pay what I want. And he keeps offering her more, and she's like, no. And finally, I think she tells him like 2,000 or 3,000, I don't remember. And she goes with him, and they have uh, a sexual intercourse. And in the end, one of the things that he tells her before is that, or afterwards, is like, you're a princess. I mean, the way you speak, all the confidence you have, you're definitely a princess. And there we see how that this act of destroying the abuser filled her with so much self-confidence, and this is twisted, so much self-confidence that all those issues that she was dealing with of not feeling good enough disappeared. And he kept telling her, no, you definitely are a princess. And she's talking to him, and he's like, wow, you're a princess. Anyway, he paid her the amount that she wanted, and she was so filled with whatever that she took all the money, all the bills, and ripped them up into small pieces. And he was like, definitely, you're a princess, because nobody else would destroy that much money. He didn't try to stop her. Okay, why do you think she tore up the money? Let's put it in dollars. Let's say you're a prostitute, and somebody pays you $3,000. And you are so filled with self-confidence, you take this money and you tear it into pieces. What is driving that behavior? What was she trying to prove? Natalie, you've been silent, and Adrian, talk to me. Oh, and Moises. Moises is silent. One of you three, talk to me. What was she trying to prove?
Maybe she was saying that she not worth that amount of money.
That she was worth more than that?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good point. Adrian, Natalie, why would she destroy the money?
I think her ego got out of control, and it was just so I'm worth so much more. I don't need this. I'm gonna get it anyways again. I'm perfect. So I think she got filled with ego and completely just what's the word when you don't like you get what's the word I forget. She basically just got sidetracked to what her main goal was to get money and survive because her ego got in the way.
Yeah, yeah. Good one. Natalie or Sally, you have anything to add to that? No? Okay, that's okay. So while they were having their sexual intercourse, he kept asking her, "Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying this?" And she'd be like, yeah, And then finally she said, "No." And when she said no, she got filled with so much more power, because every time she told him that she was enjoying it, he felt good, like, yay, he's enjoying it. And then when she felt the power to say no, then something switched. What do you think happened there? Why was that no? Why was that no so important to her? Moises, Natalie, Sally Boo.
In control.
Because she felt she got the control. Natalie, Sally, what do you think?
That now she feel like she was not like just like everyone, you know, she feel important.
Yeah, and all of that came because she had just killed a man. Okay, so this is where she becomes a little psychopathic, right? She just killed a man. She feels powerful now. She's like, and she actually says, why hadn't I killed other men before? Why didn't I start killing men before? I should have killed more men." And then she tries to actually kill the prince. And that's how the police got involved, and she ended up in prison. And when she's in prison, they kept offering her, like, "Oh, ask for a confess, or ask for a pardon, or beg for your life." And she's like, "No, I'm not going to beg for my life because I need to be in prison." Why did she feel that she had to be in prison? Those of you who read the book, why was it important for her to be in prison? Natalie, I need to hear your amazing voice. Talk to me. Why do you think Firdaus thought she needed to be in prison?
I can hear well because there's a noise here.
Oh my goodness. Anybody else who read the book? Why did she think she had to be in prison?
I think because she explained like that she discovered that the world was not enough for her, you know, that now that she discovered the truth about men, anyone could like make her happy or free. So I think that she thinks being in prison, it was like more better than live in a world that she doesn't like.
Okay. And also she said that if she is not in prison, she was going to go out and keep killing men. Why did she want to keep killing men? Remember what we spoke about, how she stabbed this guy and suddenly, woo, self-esteem boost, confident, I'm a queen, power. So why would she want to continue killing men?
To keep increasing her sense of superiority, I think.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happens to serial killers. Okay, they do it once and it fills them with such a rush that they just need to keep doing it, because that sense of power is addictive. They want to keep feeling that. And she was aware that she had killed a man and she was planning to continue killing men. So don't give me any pardon, just put me in prison and lock or kill me. And I also remember I asked the question at the beginning of the trimester, which is better, to spend your entire life in a dirty prison cell or the death sentence? And a lot of you said you'd prefer the death sentence. Some of you said you would prefer to live your entire life in a dirty prison. But that's a decision she had to make. And she decided, you better kill me. I'm not going to stay here for the rest of my life in this mess. I don't want to get out because I want to keep killing men. Better kill me and end it. And that's the story of Firdaus, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so one more time, your project is going to be choose one of the 3 books and create a 30-second video in which you're going to, of course, present the book, say the title, the name of the author, and why you like this book, and why you recommend it. 30 seconds. of the 3 books we read this year, which were Kite Runner, Brave New World, and Woman at Point Zero. Choose one of the 3. The second thing, in this module, you have to watch a movie. Watch it and send me that discussion. This movie is important because a lot of times when we think about situations, no, I'm not going to tell you why. Anyway, watch the movie. The thing is, I really want you to watch it, and I want to hear your thoughts on the movie. So make sure you watch that and send your module. Okay, people, we're at the end almost of the school year. So yeah, that happened. Okay, have fun. Bye-bye. See you next time.